You know what Ashley told me just yesterday? She goes, you know, Mom, well, I had parent-teacher conference for John yesterday. And there's always grief.
Sure.
And there's always reality. There's always, am I going to accept it for what it is? He's one of the most challenged kids at the school.
Wow.
And his teacher said, he's the hardest working
Yeah.
student.
He is.
He works harder than any
How
other
great is
of the
that,
other
Colleen?
kids.
Isn't that
How
something?
great is that?
But then I was with Ashley, and I'm trying to fix something that we've just found out, you know, so I'm going to go fix it because I'm trying
I'll give you
to
my
not fix
degree.
it.
I've got the degree in gold. I'm going to let you have my degree.
Yeah.
Because it's absolutely wasteless.
Yeah.
Worthless, I should say.
Ashley said, Mom, and this is after she had met with you because she's getting married, and she goes, Mom, you know, sometimes just letting go. What did I say? Shut up.
Yeah.
Because the teachers had looked and said, that I said, well, should I be doing this and this? And they both kind of looked odd, and I said, it's okay, I'm a little high achiever. And they both laughed, and Ashley later said, sometimes if you just let go, Mom, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
And there's a nuance to acceptance that sometimes doesn't get fully unpacked, and I'm sure we don't have the time to do that here. It's learning how to accept with hope, because there's an acceptance with a sort of resolution that, okay, I guess I have to accept that it's inferior. I have to accept that it's less than. And I think the devil wins because just saying the word acceptance isn't complete. It's learning how to accept with hope, with vitality, with energy, with all of those blessings that we have. And so I've seen the devil win where someone has got to acceptance, but they've got to acceptance with reservations.
Or those dwarfs are still living in
they've
their
got
house.
to acceptance. So
Yes.
cognitively, their self-talk, I'm accepting, but you can tell their spirit is not accepted. And
Unpack that for us.
well, it's truly the alignment. I think, you know, we know things before we feel them. Feelings always follow facts. And so I think in the grieving process, what grieving truly is this aligning how we feel with what we know. I know Peyton is dead. I know that Jonathan is
Different.
special needs. And so I know that, and then we embark on this grand journey of aligning what I know and what I feel. And I think mental health is that congruence of knowing and feeling in the context of the hope of our Savior at that point. And so that's the desire that we at Stonebriar, that I think everyone who carries the beautiful title of pastor is called to do, is to accept, but yet to accept with this sense of hope, not a giddiness, not an unrealistic. Again, that's
Right.
pathology.
But
Right.
the opposite is grim.
Yes.
That grim,
Yeah.
resolute that
Yeah.
says, well, that's the way it is.
Exactly.
That's the cross we have to bear.
Those
Yeah.
are the type of things
Oh,
where
always.
my heart, where the nobility is in this acceptance, and that's all about them. That's still their stuff that they're working out. And so acceptance comes with this sense of joy,
Yeah.
realistic, but sense of joy that this is God's sovereignty.
Yeah.
This is how it, and that's a game changer. That changes everything when you learn how to accept. And again, that's what we get the privilege of doing.
Well, Jonathan becomes one of the channels of your becoming compassionate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
The other,
I would not like me if I didn't have Jonathan.
the other evening, we had been with him, and he was tired, and he decided to lay down on the sofa down in the family room, and Austin was sitting on this end, I was in my chair, and he laid down and fell asleep, and the perspiration just ran off his forehead.
He gets hot.
His face was at peace. There weren't any tics. There weren't any jerks and motions. He was just finally at ease. And Austin just... I said, he's a terrific kid, isn't he? He said, he is. Taken me a long time to realize just how great he is. It was a great moment. So Austin enters life with the benefit that most young men, sophomore at a university, have not had.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows what it is to have his arm around a little brother that's
You
been
bet.
bullied, kicked around. Boy, I mean, Austin will pop you in the face if you bully his brother. And he should.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's there to help take care of
Absolutely.
it. And he's never forgotten that.